You've seen him on YouTube with co-host Danny Mullen. You've seen him in over 9 movies such as Slow Pitch, Late to the Party, Moneyball, and Escape Plan. You've seen him on season 14 of The Bachelorette. You might have even seen him live doing the Waterworld show in Universal Studios. He's been in many TV shows like Chosen, Cooper's Bar, Fight of the Living Dead, and many others. You might have seen him live on stage cracking jokes. He's a YouTuber, a podcaster, an actor, a comedian, a cat lover, and a great friend. Ladies and gentlemen, Leo DeTavio.
What's up, my man? You cat lover for sure, bro. Cat lover for sure. I appreciate you. That's the best intro I've ever gotten, my man. That means a lot.
Awesome, man. Thank you. We're gonna get right into it. First question. Where are you from, and what was it like growing up?
I grew up in Studio City, like it's in the Valley. It's a suburb, basically, in Los Angeles, and it was great, man. I mean, my parents, they sheltered me, and I was just basically, I was playing baseball from the age I was 5 on, and that's basically my entire life was just revolved around baseball from the ages basically 5 all the way to 23, 24. That's kind of all I did.
Do you remember when you got your first big break?
It depends on what it depends on what you think a big break is. Are you talking about acting or like baseball or which one?
More in acting, more into the
or just like
world,
entertainment
world,
entertainment stuff. Yeah, man, I would say let's see. The first time I got a commercial, I was like 25 years old, and I had just graduated college. Like when I was like 23, and I hadn't been doing much for a couple of years, and I was selling appliances. And I remember I got an agent by going to an audition and just crashing it. Actually, I just went in and put my name on there, and I put the agency that I had heard my buddy had, and I put his agency down, and they gave me a call back, and they called the agency, and they were like, "Who is this guy?" And I had called them and sent them an email saying like, "Hey, I'm Leandro DeTavio, is what I go by in acting." And so I got a call back without an agent, and then I went and I actually booked it. It was a Mercedes baseball commercial, and it was pretty cool. I would say that was my first big break, man. I went in. It was shot at Dodger Stadium. I went there, and like it was like so sick, just all for me. I had a trailer and shit. It was a pretty sick experience. But then, really, yeah, that was the first thing that kind of let me know that, hey, man, I can do this shit. I can get out there and do some shit. But yeah, I crashed an audition. I put an agency that I heard my buddy had, and that's how it happened. And then they ended up representing me for a while, and I actually got a lot of work with them. But my first big break that changed my life per se, I mean, it depends, because if I had never gone to Waterworld, I would have never gotten on The Bachelorette, and if I hadn't met, all these people. So it's kind of a hard thing to pick. But I think the first thing was that Mercedes commercial that I booked when I was working appliances. That was like the first time I realized, hey, man, I can do this shit. But The Bachelorette, though, that came about after I was doing Waterworld, and like I had I built a little following there. And then they hit me up on Instagram, and they were like, "Hey, we need you, someone like you." And then that really changed my life, though, because that's what led to what I do now, mostly. But yeah.
Awesome! Congratulations. How long have you been a content creator for?
I've been I guess content creator like 7 years now, almost 8 with Danny. I would say that was the first time I did anything, but I mean, I would do like skits before that, so probably like close to 10 years now. I would say I've been doing the content creation again.
Awesome. What got you into acting, and how long have you been acting?
Well, if you grow up here in LA, a lot of the time you're forced to take, theater when you're in elementary school. So the first time I got the lead role when I was in 5th grade, and in this play. And then I had to go do it on stage. And I remember liking it a lot because I I felt like it was similar to baseball because you get like the adrenaline rush from being on stage. You get to make people laugh, and that was really the beginnings of me wanting to do stand-up too. Was being on stage. So probably I've been acting. I guess. I mean, if you consider the plays I was in, because I was in plays in middle school and then high school and in elementary school. So I guess I started acting probably around 10 years old, at least like on stage. But really it was all about baseball at the beginning. But like baseball was the first, most important. But then I messed with the play and stuff too, because I thought I had a lot of fun doing it. And my dad was big on like the old school, and he loved like, the golden age of Hollywood, really good, like old school movies. So he kind of taught me about acting, and Marlon Brando. And, Marlon Brando is like this guy who kind of changed acting. He was the first guy to be like supernatural. And, and that's kind of how I got into acting, dude.
Awesome. How long have you and Danny been friends for, and how did you guys first meet?
So I met Danny right before I went on The Bachelorette. So it was like 2017, and he was working on a Facebook group, like it was like a Facebook Git channel, and he was helping him out on set, just like hanging out with the guys. And I hit it off with him, and I really liked him as a person, and like I thought he was super smart. And I remember him saying like, "Hey, I want to start a YouTube channel." And I was like, "Well, listen, after I do this Bachelorette shit, we'll see where I'm at, bro. I'm kind of down." And he's like, "All right, let's do it." And then I went on The Bachelorette. But yeah, that was 2017, and I met him on that day, and he literally talked about starting a YouTube channel that day and a podcast that day. And then it all kind of happened after our first YouTube video that kind of took off, rating UCLA back in like 2018, right after I was, canceled on The Bachelorette. But yeah.
Shout out to Danny Mullen, man. What a great guy.
Yeah, he's a legend, man. Great guy, great brother. He's a brother of mine now, more than even a friend,
Yeah.
He pushed me to be a better version of myself and shit, and man.
For sure. Speaking of The Bachelorette, how did you end up on The Bachelorette? And have you ever thought about starting your own show, like For the Love of Leo?
Yeah, For the Love of Leo would be sick, dude. All the girls would leave though after they find out I'm a narcissist. But yeah, dude, they just hit me up on Instagram. I had like a douchey Instagram with a lot of like ad pics, and like I think they knew it would do well with some of the moms and shit, and they kind of just hit me up. They hit me up on Instagram. I went in for an interview, and I was single at the time, and it was a great experience, honestly. It was honestly a great experience. But yeah, that's how I got on. They just hit me up on Instagram.
Awesome. How long have you been a comedian for, and what got you into being a comedian?
I've done stand-up for like 6 years. I honestly did it because I used to like being on stage, and like even after college, I did a couple more like little mini professional plays, and in the Valley and LA and stuff. So I kind of started liking being on stage, and it was just like an easy way to get on stage. You didn't have to go to rehearse. You just could go up there and start talking and see what happens. So I went to my first open mic. You just go to an open mic, which is just comics that are watching other comics, basically, and you got to make them laugh. And so I went to the Ha Ha Cafe in North Hollywood. I went to their open mic, and I hit it, dude, and I liked it, And then I didn't do it consistently until about like 5-6 years ago. So I've been doing it for like, I would say 7 years, and then I started doing it consistently maybe 5 years ago.
Awesome. Do you have a favorite episode you did with Danny?
Of the podcast or the YouTube channel?
The YouTube channel.
Yeah, man, it's my home run derby video where Danny
that's one of my favorites too. The N-bomb.
Thanks, bro. When Danny gets the N-bomb pass from AB.
Antonio,
pretty crazy video.
Yeah.
But
bro, you were slugging
that's my favorite video. Yeah, man, I was smashing some ball. I don't know, man. It was it was the peak of my baseball career, and it happened to come at 38 years old. It's kind of crazy because I really didn't play any serious baseball after about 25. So it was like all those years later, I had another opportunity to really show who I was, and it was the best video, man. I hit a bunch of bombs. It was like me and Danny's lives kind of coinciding, and he put on one of his best performances ever, and then I put on one of my best performances.
I agree.
You know, in the home run derby, which was it meant a lot to me. You know, I didn't want to tell anybody it meant something to me, but I remember thinking like, damn, I was nervous, and I was like, if I could just hit one home run, you know, if I could just hit one.
Bro, you were hitting them out of there. It was like
bro.
someone put in a cheat code the way you were hitting those balls, bro.
Dude, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite videos out.
For sure. What's something people might not know about you?
You know, I take it like probably like 5 ballet classes in my life, and I can do a little ballet. That's something most people don't know about.
Awesome. Do you have any advice for anybody that's trying to do what you're doing?
Yeah, man. It's all about day one. Start doing it. You're gonna get better at it as you do it more. But it's really important to start, and also learn how to edit, maybe, you know, because it's gonna save you a lot of money at the beginning, and it can allow you to really be creative with how you make it funny and shit. Like that's what Danny does. He edits it. I'm starting to edit some of the clips for the pod and stuff like that, but Danny really does a good job with editing his own videos, and it's important that you guys learn how to edit too. If you really want to do this to save somebody and like be able to really show people what you want is what you want to be funny. Show people what you think is funny with your editing.
For sure.
But yeah, start doing it. Also, take an acting class, take an improv class, take a comedy class. All those things can help you kind of learn what is funny to people, like as far as like the math behind it, because there is kind of like this science behind comedy, and there's patterns and shit with the improv. So if you learn that, it can actually help you be ahead of the game. Although obviously some people are like naturals, and you know, like the streaming world is different, but a lot of these guys, they don't let you know, but they have taken an improv class. They have, you know, studied acting and shit, and you know, it does help to train and kind of learn from the people before you.
For sure. Have you ever had a fan encounter that really stuck on you, and can you speak a little bit about it?
Yeah, man. There was the guy that was like, he couldn't even, like, he was in a wheelchair. He couldn't move his arms or legs, and he barely could talk. He was a veteran. He had served in the Marine, and he like went over a mine with his Humvee, and it flipped, or he wasn't even driving, but it flipped and he got paralyzed. And he was a fan, bro, in Chicago, and he like with his, like, he could barely talk, and he said that, and we heard him, and then we ended up taking him to the show, and we gave him like a big ass standing ovation, and like, you know, we talked him up. It was pretty cool. I think you loved it.
That's awesome, man. Great for you guys. That's good of you guys to do that. What's the cons and pros of having fame for all those people that are just dying for fame?
I have a little bit of fame, very little, and I can tell you that, you know, you get a lot of hate online, and you learn to love it, because that's kind of what you have to do. Is like, now I get hate people, damn, super fan, you know, like, damn, another one that really loves, like, I'm taking up rent in their headspace, you know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. So, but you do get it, and it does take some time to get used to, you know what I mean? You do get hate, people don't like you, your friends, some of your friends don't mess with you anymore, things like that, because they, you know, they kind of just, the human being is kind of sometimes built to be a little bit, you know, envy comes, you know, envy comes and goes. So it's like, you got to control yourself and not be envious, but some people aren't, you know, aren't able to control that. So yeah, you know, I think there are like, to everything in life, you also just get used to it, and it doesn't, like, sure, you know, right after The Bachelorette, I was pretty famous, and like for a second, like, I went to Disneyland, and I signed autographs, like some girl literally cried, which is crazy, and even with the Danny Mullen channel, like, I'll get recognized like once or twice a week, pretty sick, like, you know, if I go out all day, I'll probably get recognized once, which is pretty sick, you know, sometimes like random ass spots, like 7-Eleven workers, or like some guy, like I was in fucking Alaska, and some guy in a little fucking shop knew who we were. It was kind of crazy.
Wow.
And, you know,
That's
so
awesome.
but you start, you know, once it happens a couple times, like you still are the same person, no matter what happens. You get a lot of money, you get a lot of this. For a little bit, you're happy and it's like cool, but then it's like you become the same person you were before, and you have to adjust. So,
Right. Favorite food?
favorite food, probably Italian food, maybe chicken parmesan or like spinach ravioli with meat sauce, and or a good steak, like just a good carne asada,
Yes.
like Argentinian style. You know?
Yes, I know what you mean. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? It's A Wonderful Life. It's like a movie from the 40s, a Christmas movie. And it's a Christmas movie now, but it's really my favorite movie, man. It's like the guy, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it has a great message about, like, you know, your life having some worth for someone else, and it's about what you do for others, kind of. It's pretty cool. And it's one of the best. I mean, a lot of people think it's one of the greatest movies ever, but it is a weird movie. Like, for a person my age, like a movie from the 40s, it's kind of crazy, but it is my favorite movie. There's a lot of close seconds, though. Like, Braveheart and Gladiator are right there, just the typical man ones. You know what I mean? I really like Rocky, too. Rocky 1, I mean, and, you know, movies like that are just like, you know, about a guy overcoming some obstacles. But yeah, my real favorite movie is It's a Wonderful Life. And if you haven't seen it, it's got everything. You know, it's a really good movie, and teaches you about life. And,
I have to check that out.
worth the watch.
I have
Yeah.
to check that out. Favorite animal?
Favorite animal?
Yeah.
A lion. I just have too many similarities. Like, my name means lion man, Leandro. It means lion man. I'm a Leo. You know, I got the hair, the mane of a lion. I'm just a lion, and I love cats. You know, like I'm a big cat guy. So my favorite animal is a lion, and yeah.
Speaking of Leos, I noticed that me and you are both a Leo, and a day after mine is your birthday, so we have to celebrate together, man.
Hell yeah, bro. Let's celebrate, bro. August, baby. The best
Yes,
month.
yes. Favorite comedian?
So Cat Williams was my favorite growing up. I just loved his special, like Pimp Chronicles with the green suit so much. I thought it was like the funniest special I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
But I, now as an adult, I like him a lot. But I think, like, I also really like Louis C.K. as a comic. He's like, to be able to do what he does, so many good specials, and he's kind of the GOAT. He's like the Jordan or LeBron or something. And of course, I like Chappelle as well. I used to, you know, I've watched some of his specials and been blown away. Yeah, but I like all the GOATs, but like specifically, like growing up, Cat Williams, and then I used to, a comedic actor that I used to think was just unbelievable was Chris Farley. I used to think he was unbelievable. Yeah, Chris Farley and Cat Williams were my GOATs growing up. I used to think they were the best, but then I'm trying to think. I mean, obviously, I just love, like, Jim Carrey is, like, acting. Why, like, if you're just talking about comedian, like Jim Carrey, I would consider him a comedian. And I used to love, all the GOATs, but specifically growing up, Cat Williams, and then Chris Farley. I used to think he was just, like, the funniest. And then, but honestly, also I have to mention Sacha Baron Cohen for Borat, dude, because Borat, the movie, changed my life. That's my favorite comedy. It's in my top 5 as well. But yeah, Borat changed my life, because that's honestly what kind of ended up, like, making me want to work with Danny, because I thought it was the funniest shit, you know, Borat was doing, like, literally the funniest shit in the world, you know?
Yep. Do you have any hobbies?
Yeah, man, I play softball now, you know, with the boys. I would say that's a hobby. Taking care of Brando. Like, I feel like Brando, my cat, you know, I take really good care of him. You know, I buy the best food, I brush him. You know, I mean, I play with him every day. He's like a little, you know, he's my son. And I would say he's a hobby almost. But what else? But yes, man, I need some more hobbies, honestly. What else? I just fucking like taking a walk with some music in my earphones. I don't know if that's a hobby, but yeah, softball. Yeah. Is the mic good still?
Yeah, it's perfect.
All right, yeah. So, but softball, I guess, would be my main hobby, which is just a slower paced baseball. I love it. I haven't been able to play this year because of my ankle, so I'm trying to come back. I broke my ankle like in January, so February, and then I'm just coming back now. So I'm just waiting. I'd say maybe one more month, and I can play softball again.
All right. Is it healing pretty good though?
Yeah, it's healing good. I think it is. I don't have a lot of pain. It gets swollen, but like I'm moving it pretty good, and I can balance on it, and like it's looking good. It's looking good.
Yeah, I remember seeing when you dropped into I believe that's a half pipe or
I'm not a skater, bro. I can't skate.
Yeah, I can't either. You had balls for doing it because I probably wouldn't have done that. But I mean, you looked like the way you dropped in, it looked like you'd done it before. You were just I had to slip up. Yeah, man. But speedy recovery to you,
bro.
For sure. Do you follow conspiracy theories? And if so, what's one conspiracy theory you believe is true?
I guess the JFK one is a good one. I know 9/11 seems pretty fishy too.
Yeah.
JFK. Yeah, man. I think a lot of them ended up being true. So yeah, but I follow this theory, but really just like not the crazy out there ones. Like I don't think the world's flat and shit, but I do think something fishy happened with JFK and 9/11.
Me as well. How do you want to be remembered when it's all said and done, brother?
As a guy who was kind to his friends, cared about his family, and hit a few bombs in baseball, and then but overall just kind to my family and friends.
For sure, you're a really great guy, man. Has there ever been a time you felt overworked and exhausted, and what did you do to get over that feeling?
Yeah, man, I've felt overworked and exhausted many times, and I think it's important to take some you time, and it's probably get to nature. I would say get in some water in a lake somewhere, get in the ocean, getting in some water, grounding. I know it sounds like a hippy dippy shit, but there's some science behind it. If you put your feet on the ground, on some grass or sand, something connected to the Earth's core, your your electrical current inside your body actually changes, and you have increased blood flow, and it's very healthy to do that and get out in the sun. But I would say whenever I feel overworked or not creative or something like that, I get out in the sun, try to do some grounding, and get in nature.
For sure. Last question. So what's next for you?
I think I'm going to be working with the homies and trying to get stand-up bigger and bigger. We're doing better and better. Like we got in the Laugh Factory San Diego now, and we're doing better shows, and we're getting better at stand-up, so it's good. So stand-up seems like a really fun next step, and it's I've been pushed in that direction. It's kind of a weird thing, but I think it's going to continue to grow the channel and the pod, and and start selling more tickets, and just keep going with stand-up. That's next.
For sure. Well, Leo, I'd like to thank you for stopping by on Real Clout Television. It was an honor, man. It's a pleasure. Oh, yeah. I thank you so much for doing this interview, brother. You're awesome.
Hey, you're the man, bro. All right? And I'm rooting for you. All right, brother?
For sure. Thank you, man. Talk to you soon, brother.
Talk to you soon.